Hello, Recre7 and welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. We are rejoining the 9th Cameroonians as we try to eject some Germans from this chateau. So we're into the third episode of this scenario, and the first two has mainly been positioning on our entry routes towards the edge of this bocage here on the edge of the chateau, and the next, in this episode we'll look to try and eject the Germans. So we do have a mortar barrage just about to come in. I think the spotter is on the spotting phase of it, so it's just trying to find the right rounds at the minute, so hopefully that'll land and get kicked off shortly. We don't have the biggest number of rounds in the world, about 40, but hopefully they will do some damage. In terms of the Germans we're aware of in this area, just a bit of a recap, we've got kind of one foxhole setting out in the edge over here. We've got another one in the centre. We have a spotted German HQ unit in this building, and we've got some infantry of some description back in this building as well. The general plan at the minute is going to be wait until the mortar rounds start falling, and then to kind of push our troops up along this bocage line and to try and inflict some damage upon the Germans before we kind of push in and seize the objective. Just quickly flash up the objective being this green square in the centre of these two buildings. There are also some other German forces on the map which you know about, half track over here and some infantry, which to be honest we are just ignoring. Now towards the end of the last episode we did take a couple of casualties in this section, and it looked to be fire coming from this area of hedge here, and I wasn't 100% whether it was actually Germans in behind this hedge or if it was someone kind of firing through that gap. I'm beginning to suspect there might be a small number of German infantry in here that we just haven't managed to spot, despite these guys being here. And we did bring up this Bren carrier in support, and I was going to do a little bit of kind of just kind of suppressing fire, for want of a better word, kind of essentially just pick a random spot in the hedge and hope that's right. But as you can see, he can't fire on it. He's refusing to fire along this bocage because of this little hedgerow. So I might have to roll him right up to it to be able to fire into it. So we'll have to wait and see. The other thing we could do is try and scoot our scouts over a little bit to see if they can get that spot. They are in a pretty good position, but I suppose this little bit jutting out might be blocking some of their line of sight if there's an odd German lying in there. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about that one. We'll have to kind of play it by ear, but we will have to make sure we can suppress anyone that is in and around there. So the only other change I'm going to make is I'm just going to bring this Bren carrier over to help support, to try and you can get an angle from the building from in this field, so we know there's an HQ unit there, so we might as well put some fire into it. I have started issuing some orders just to push some guys up against this hedge. To get ourselves in position. I think we can start putting some offensive fire on this foxhole. I was concerned about going too early and drawing some fire towards my spotter and also from these buildings, but actually I think there's probably enough line of sight blocking through these trees that the fire from here is not going to be as much of an issue. I've also noticed actually you can actually go around the edge of this map, so we might want to try and maybe push someone around there at some point. Might be a good use of our backup kind of Bren team here to get in a bit of a flanking position. In fact, I'm going to change the orders to here, and then I can also change my mind once we get to that point. So, without further ado, maybe let's just kick off and see where we get to. Oh, that. Ow. Oh my goodness, that's a heck of a start. What happened here? Starting with a bang. Our scouting team just got absolutely annihilated. Oh, hang on, what was that? There we go. I don't know if that's coming through on the YouTube, but if you see just watch down here, you'll see a German grenade. There it goes. Wow. Okay, so there's definitely some German infantry just on the other side of this hedge that we have managed to not spot. And second grenade finishes them off. Okay. Alright, duly warned. Right. Taking a little bit of fire from far Germans, that's not the end of the world, we can deal with that. And then our Bren section is targeting on this box, which is good, that's what he's there for. That's it's pretty disappointing. I lost that entire scouting unit. I'm waiting for the fire for effect call. Got eyes of the Germans in this building again, so that's the machine gun up they've got up there. And so much for me saying they were going to be protected from the trees, I guess that's not entirely the case. Right. So we have got eyes. Oh, this is a new one. On some Germans in foxholes back here as well. Okay. Okay, let's jump into it. Well, things we want to do. First of all, do you have eyes to these people down here? No, you're going to say you can't hit because of that little hedgerow. That is disappointing. You, however, can you hit the second story of this building? You can do so, because we know there's an HQ in there. I mean, ultimately, I could roll this guy forward and then shoot through, you know, right up against the hedge, and that should give me a line of sight. I'm a little leery that if there's some Germans back here, they may have grenades or Panzerfausts, or to be honest, just short-range small arms fire is enough to kind of upset these things. So I might have to wait until I've dealt with that before I roll up and add those brain carriers to the fight. What I would like to do is get you guys to come in and take positions on this hedgerow, and then we'll put some fire into this bocage and see if we can't maybe push our 3 riflemen here up against it, see if we can't get that spot. So I need to know what is going on there. I shall push you guys slightly further along the hedge as well, but not as far as that, because I do not want you to befall the same fate. Our mortar team is now in position. Do you have line of sight to your target? No. Because you're not in position. And you're not a mortar team. Both things. Right, okay. Yeah, you please drop your 13 mortars on that little foxhole position. That is good. Let's see if we can unhinge that flank a little bit. Okay. Not the greatest start to an episode, not the worst. The one thing which I meant to do in the recap as well is, as I was a little bit thinking about this, because it's been a couple of weeks since I recorded, and obviously given that we don't have our close air support, and we're about 50% of the paper strength of the units kind of come into this, what we're going to face, I am a little concerned we don't quite have the oomph to kick these guys out. It's going to be a bit dependent on how effective our mortar barrage is, and there's always a potential that we find there's a couple of well-placed MGs that just lock us down for the next 10 minutes and we don't get through. And I don't want to just like completely suicide my force. I'd rather just take a loss in this scenario and keep my troops for a future engagement, which is viable. You don't want to lose the campaign if we do that, but we'll see. Of course, there's always the case where you lose your troops and you still don't win the mission, and that's all just generally bad. Right, enough wittering, let's push on. Right, so this brain carrier should take some special fire, that is good. These guys are moving up without taking any fire, which is nice, but there's Germans in here somewhere. Mortars are out. Oh, I see that, and we've actually just taken forces from my Stein gunner. Right, can we? Hang on, let's go back and let's be a bit more critical on this.
Bloody choir girls are quicker.
That looked to be from right here, right at that gap. So they might just be right there. We can't see them. Okay. We'll be able to put some fire in that position and get some guys up close next time. But losing that Stein gunner is really unfortunate. Not only is he obviously my leader, which affects your ability of your troops to fight and stay in a fight, but obviously that's a nice automatic weapon we have now lost for a close quarters engagement. Not ideal. Okay. Oh, looks like we've lost another one. He has gone down. These guys are not even making a sound spot of the Germans here. Whoa, completely wiped out. Wow, okay. Oh, finally someone's decided they know who they are after the 4th casualty this turn. So that's in my last 2 minutes. That's 8 infantrymen I've just lost. Jeez, to this chap and his friends. Okay. And he's legging it, he's had enough. Which is the guy with the brain gun. So all I have left out of this rifle section is now 3 rifles. Whoa. That was, this has been an unpleasant turn of events. And you can't see him. And if you can't see him, you can't fire at him. Okay. If I roll my brain carrier up to a couple of meters away, you're just going to get somewhat mullered. I mean, you guys can fight, but you're now fighting an automatic weapon. Which is not necessarily ideal. See if you guys can lay down some suppressive fire. They're starting to become slightly unstuck. Looks like my mortars haven't done much. The rest of the guys pushing up the other mortar team. See, you might be a useful one to get around this side. Potentially cropping a lot of fire from the buildings, though. Even actually getting you in here, you could drop some mortars behind these infantrymen that are causing me so many problems. I shall try that. And then the other brain guns we've got. Also like to come over in this way. Good. So what's my fighting strength now? So I've got most of a section here and most of a section there, and that's about it. I have some brain carriers who are doing a whole lot of nothing for me. Okay. Alright, let's push on. Let's see if we can get those mortar rounds falling. I mean, we're fighting a guy in a building behind the garage. It's a bit kind of 50-50 how this goes.
Over.
At least we're putting some suppressive fire on this guy now. That's really poor mortaring. Come on, direct line of sight. You expect to be better than that. Okay, some good suppressed fire from this section, but it's tying down a large portion of my available fighting force at the minute. This is probably a bit of a greedy move, actually. I might just pull these guys back. He says as he takes casualty. Oh my goodness. Did you guys just get completely wiped out?
Fire for effect. Out.
By that MG. Okay. We've got, yeah, just an MG rifle section. And we're down a mortar, okay. Our mortar's almost falling, but going too far, to be honest. Yeah, that's our target area, and so far we're blowing up the woods behind it. Right, you guys are putting good pressure on, so can you get across to here? And can you roll up and actually join the fight? I'm a little worried this is going to end badly for my friend here. And I must remember there's always future missions. It's not just about what happens in the here and now. Okay, you guys are almost suppressed. You are back here, that's fine. Commander, you sit there for the mortar rounds. Yeah, I do not want to bring you in the corner, but nor do I want all my Brens sitting in the same place. Let's bring this Bren unit down to this section of woods. See if we can't enter the fight from here. Or bocage, I should say, it's not woods. Oh, but I got another here. In you get. Sorry, I need to turn those pings off in a moment. Alright. Let's see, if our mortars don't correct and we essentially waste all our ammo, not where the Germans are, I think we're going to have some real trouble dislodging these guys. But, perseverance. Start trying to dislodge these guys at the hedgerow here. A bit better. Right, we've got brain carriers coming up to get involved in the action. I'm really disappointed with these mortar rounds actually. Okay, these guys are just getting pinned down by an MG nest, which is fair. Need to get someone else closer to that. A bit over here, have we got you starting to engage? No, is there a tree in the way? Almost. We've got to make sight on that foxhole at the back. Okay. Let us continue. These shots look better at least of our mortars. Hopefully we can cause some damage. Although foxes obviously are a good defensive position. You need probably some direct hits. That one looks pretty good. It looks like there's at least one dead German in here. Which was the Panzerschreck chap. Alright. Hopefully we've inflicted a few casualties. Not really the critical position, but I think we're in a case of every little helps. I do need to move up on this position, so I'm going to have to break up this section, I think. Now that we've got this brain carrier also doing suppressive fire, hopefully I can then move these troops up. And we can take these guys. And you are back in the fight. Right, what we'd like to do is hit go. We're going to break off an assault team. And your job is going to be get out to here, and then I would like you to... I mean, I don't really want to shoot myself in the face. It's interesting because I'm worried going here isn't enough. But we shall see. It's the best we can do. Otherwise I'm going to have to stop firing. Meanwhile, let's split these guys up again. I'd like to do split teams. I'm going to grab my 3 rifles and I'm just going to move them along at a reasonable pace. This back hedgerow. We'll keep the brain gun firing on it for just now. Although, we've got this one. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll move the brain gun over here as well. I would like this Bren to try and rejoin his comrades. And yeah, who have we got around here? Anyone who can do a little bit of scouting? You scout around here, and then see when you get here, stick your head down, because I don't really want you to die. We'll see if we can't get you across the next hedgerow. You're still targeting the building where HQ was, you're targeting this. You should be able to get a target order now, so we can probably try and spray across these foxholes if we can find them. Don't know how effective that's going to be. Obviously the Germans can stick their heads down and we should be relatively safe. You guys are pinned. You are not being useful right now. I need you to be useful. Right, we need to move down here. I think we're going to try do a bit of weight of fire. If we can clear it here, and then... Oh, those foxholes are in a great position, though. What have we got by way of mortar rounds left? 1. Okay, well that's not going to do much for me. You cannot see them? Not really, okay. Yeah, let's bring you in this way. We'll see where we end up. Hopefully get a few more mortar rounds out. I do not feel like much destruction was wreaked upon the German forces. Hello? We see you again. Cowering? Cowering is good. Please keep cowering. Although, preferably cowering than die. Just being cower till my assault squad gets in range. And I got a brain gun up there. It's good, although we need to take these guys out post haste. Okay, what can we see left of these guys in the foxholes? Okay, there appears to be 1 casualty and 1 guy in the same foxhole. That's a pretty unpleasant scenario. Where, excuse me, where did you get taken down from? Not entirely sure, actually. Okay. This is good. At least one of our soldiers is now engaging the chaps here, and hopefully if they're suppressed, it should be a fairly easy mop-up. Oh, he's just become unsuppressed. That's not really what you want. Alright. 10 minutes to go. Things are not looking up for us. You guys are all together, but I would like you to move there. But it's going to be quickly. And we need to clear these guys on my hedgerow. I'm worried this machine gunner is just about to take out our rifle troop in there. Let's clear that target order if we can, please, and we'll put on just a direct engage. Not what you should need it. Right, I'm just going to clear your targets entirely. Let you sort them out for yourselves. You guys are pretty much pinned. This is not necessarily going the way I hoped it would. You're essentially done. I do have some scouts around here, which is useful, but somewhat limited. So I wonder if that's second MG or the same MG. So we know there's at least one there, one here, so it's 3 of them. I suspect there's probably another one either amongst that foxhole crew or in this building. We're somewhat struggling to win the weight of fire engagement at the minute. But if we can clear this guy out, then at least we can start stacking this hedgerow a bit more. Okay, well let us see what happens. This pesky German. Okay, Okay, went immediately suppressed, which is pretty advantageous. Okay. Surprised our guys aren't using grenades. We do have them. Oh, this is absolute hell. Whoa, mate, where are you going? Okay. On the plus side, we've killed that one German. On the downside, our Bren gunner is lying in a gap in a hedgerow, which we're currently targeting with him. Not the greatest place to be, not to mention the fact that there's a German with a machine gun. Probably gonna have a go at you. Alright. If you survive this minute, I'll be spectacularly pleased. Oh, hello. Who have we got here? Ah, but wait, there's more. How did we not spot this guy? I mean, you two are practically touching. Oh, this didn't. You know, I love this game, but sometimes. Alright, he's on. No, he's gone again. Oh! Surely that got him. Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. Okay. So the brave and reckless fool has got away with it. Okay. Right, things are slightly stabilised. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna put cutting someone on all the video and just check all my orders and where we are, and we'll come back with a couple more minutes. Finally cleared out this initial hurdle, but we really haven't yet made a dent in the forces in here. We have I don't know if we've killed or purely suppressed this HU unit that's in here, but we certainly haven't seen them for a while. These guys are a bit concerning because that's a very nice position they've got there. It's going to be hard to dig them out. And yeah, an MG in a building is always a tricky position, but we shall do what we can. So let me go away. I'm going to recheck my forces, and then we'll come back. Alright, so if I can look at the forces I've got left, especially in terms of brain gun units. So I've got so one detachment here, and then one, well, also detachment here. They're both gainfully employed in engaging this MG position in the second story of the building over there, which I think is a good use of them. And then the rest, the other kind of two, I think it is, or I think it might be three, but in 2 units. No, it's just 2. I'm now going to congregate down this section to try and engage this foxhole here, and see if we can't kind of pin them down. And then I really think what I'm going to have to do is try and close in with probably just rifle them with grenades is about the best bet I've got, if I decide that's a sensible thing to do. Somewhat kicking myself at having lost that mortar unit with the far too aggressive mover in the corner, because that would have been ideal for taking that out. That's just right idea, but I think far too soon to be doing that. I'm gonna push this HQ around the corner as say just a bit of a scout as well, get some additional eyes, and I'm gonna try and push him up to the next hedgerow. I'm toying with the idea of taking these guys out, but I think they've just got rifles, so they're not that useful. Whereas if I pull these guys out, they do have a brain gun, so maybe I could do a swap actually. That's not a terrible idea. If I get you to come out and join the fight there, and then I can have you come over here and get into this thing, and then you can utilise that brain gun on that position. Because I think this is, it's not bad use of a brain carrier considering what little I can do with them, but I don't think it's going to be super effective in eliminating the German forces there. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with that. But it is going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty close run thing whether we can actually push in here in any kind of meaningful fashion before the time ends. We may be relying on overtime, but I'd rather, like I say, sensibly inflict casualties upon the Germans, and then take a defeat rather than push everyone in and take significant losses. Right, you're not all dead. There's a... Has that guy got an MG? Either you have 2 MGs, or I made a mistake with... who has died. So it looks like there was a dead guy there with the Panzerschreck, and an MP40. I could have sworn there was we'd killed the MG guy to begin with. That could be terrible. Okay. Because these guys are in the open against MGs, not really where you want to be. Looks like we got away with it, and in fact, did we just kill that guy? Or did he just hide again? Oh. I think he might still be there. Just hidden in that little crevice. Okay, we found another section of foxholes. Not a problem. What I wouldn't give to have that close air support. Okay, these dudes have come back. So again, HQ unit, and then we've also got eyes of... oh look, another MG in here. Okay. Now it's... unfortunately, I think there's going to be a little element of luck involved in terms of being actually able to inflict casualties through the buildings, because it can be a little bit on the hit and miss side. Yeah, that guy's still there. Alright. Well, we're going to have to try and take care of him then. This is somewhat awkward. Okay, well here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start by grabbing... do I want you lot? I don't want to take you all out actually. Because you're actually in a good position to continue the fight against that guy, although we've got 2 brain guns on that already. So I guess 2 brain guns not doing a lot. I now feel somewhat foolish for having taken... now these guys do have a brain gun. Huh. Well, there you go. So in fact, since you've got the brain gun, let's not worry about the brain gun carrier. Let's get you over to, say, this position, where you can then put down some turret support on that position. Very good. And then we'll have you chaps move up and prepare to close. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Meanwhile, you guys can continue to engage anyone you see. Alright, let's go for another minute. I'm really disappointed he's not dead. Especially as no one's currently firing him, he could quite easily unsuppress himself. Oh, look, like so. Whoa, okay. And he took out my brain gunner. I think it's just the same guy hiding in the corner we keep seeing. He's now has a decency to be kind of crawling away. So we don't seem to be suffering, touch wood, too many casualties in terms of getting the guys in behind the blockage. At the same time, I'm not convinced we're inflicting that many casualties either. I mean, these guys don't even seem to notice the fact we're shooting at them. Look at that. Look at the number of shots going on here. And just not really having much of an effect. Are you still firing? You are. Good. Okay, let's go into the command mode. You guys are going to have to go here to try and take care of that. I want you to find your buddy and your brain gun, because you need it. You go here, and don't worry about your target order. Alright, that is us sitting at 35 minutes. We are 7 minutes left in the mission, plus any extras. Well, I think you guys have made it over. I think we're going to call it here for this one. Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you guys' thoughts are, and whether you think we've got any snowball's chance in hell of actually knocking the Germans out of its objective. As it stands, I'm not convinced. I think we'll keep making a good go of it, see what we can do in the next 7 minutes. But there's some pretty good defensive positions the Germans have here. And given that we've probably only got maybe parity of firepower, we're now out of mortars and we don't have any artillery support. Digging them out, I think, is going to be a bit of a mission. But we'll see how we go. However, as ever, I've been Rick187. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will catch you all in the next one. Cheerio.